Content is the visual information on your website. It's how you communicate your values. And you only have a few seconds to connect with your viewer, so it's got to be engaging. This is tutorial number 9, text. Hi, I'm Candace. Welcome to Websites Made Easy with Candace. All of these tutorials are based on the chapters of my book, I Need a Website, What Do I Do Now? If you'd like to follow along, you can purchase my book on Amazon.com. Creating text can be a challenge. I mean, what else is new? Doing a website is a challenge. Creating text is easy compared to that. And some of you might consider having your appendix removed instead of writing text. And I know, I used to be that person. But I found that writing text is a process. And once you know how to do it, it's much easier than you may think. Text should offer practical, useful information. It should be brief, easy to read, and well organized. It should engage the reader to stay on your site and to come back later. And it should entertain and never bore the reader. Here are some text guidelines to help you write good text for your website. Aim to satisfy your target audience. You're writing for them, not for yourself. So you need to catch their eye and reel them in. Why are they on your website? What information are they seeking? What do you want to say to them? And what do you want them to do? Number 2, be brief. As I said earlier, no one reads. Websites are scanned, not read, which is good news for you when considering what to write. The average American reads on an 8th grade level. Use as few words as possible in your content and keep those sentences short. Don't be wordy, don't ramble, be concise and clear and direct. Get to the point and try not to bore people. You want to simplify by eliminating useless words. Eliminate adverbs. Completely sold out is not necessary when sold out is enough. Stephen King once wrote, I believe the road to hell is paved with adverbs. So don't use adverbs. Number 3, you need to be readable. Use clear fonts, text that's not too small, should always be at least 16 points, and color that is easy to read. The contrast between the background color and the text color is vital for readability. Which one of these works? You can see the difference. Number 4, you want to use a conversational tone. Avoid jargon and trite phrases. Don't use really formal language or highly technical terms. Use terms that your visitors will know and understand. You don't need to impress them. Think of them as friends. You're just talking with your friends. Number 5. This one's really important. You wouldn't think it would need to be, but use an active voice. Use the first person, I or we. Never use the third person, he, she, it, or they. First person is clearer, it's more engaging, and it personalizes your website. For example, I will serve our community. Not she will serve our community. Write as if you're talking to someone who's standing right in front of you. Number 6, you want to write with authority. You know the products and services better than anyone else. They're looking for an expert, and that expert is you. Number 7, make the text valuable. Don't confuse people. Information should be relevant and current. Give them your hook line at the beginning. That's what they want. They don't want to have to hunt for it, and you shouldn't make them. They'll appreciate it and they'll come back. 8 is all about keywords. Keywords identify your business to Google. People use popular words when they look for information online. Think about when you're looking for something. Identify what those words are related to your business and use them so Google will recognize them. It's going to improve your search engine optimization. That's your SEO. We'll be talking about that later. Use them throughout your website in headers and subheaders and text. Here's an example. You own Simon's Bakery. In an online search, keywords would be bakery, pastry, cakes, and pies. So you want to use those words on your website. So when somebody types in pies, you will be listed. So Simon's Bakery, cakes for every occasion, pies made from scratch, fresh pastries daily. We'll be talking more in another tutorial about keywords. They are important. Google loves keywords and they can help people find your website. Number 9, you need to organize your information. We've already talked about hierarchy, and content hierarchy is pretty much the same thing. You want to put important content up front. State the facts clearly and don't try to be clever. Newspapers use the inverted pyramid style that you see here. And it works. Segment information into visual areas. Focus on one topic per area. Use subheadings and make it easy to spot and easy to read. Number 10, make your text scannable. You want to make lists, not long sentences. Lists are easy to scan. No one reads paragraphs. You may like to write paragraph, but nobody reads it. I don't know why people still do that. Lists are a way to organize your space and to make it scannable so people can get the information they want in the quickest possible way. Here are some examples. Lists don't have to be written. They can be sections. You can see on the top left-hand side, you can choose any one of these different sections, and that will take you into another page. Which iPhone is right for you? Those are sections. That's a list. iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 11, iPhone X. They're lists, but they have a picture, and you click on that, and it goes into the section you want. Get smarter about what matters to you. That's pretty easy right there. That's your list, but it's arranged in such a way that makes it interesting. If you look over at Google Play, on the far upper right-hand side, each one of those pictures is a list. It's a movie or an audiobook, and you just choose the one you want. And take a look at iStock. They have 4 sections that you can choose at the bottom. Or GoFundMe. You can decide if you want to fundraise for yourself or for a friend or for a charity. These are the new ways of doing lists. It makes it easy for people to get the information they need from your website. Number 11, use white space. Do not crowd your content. Let it breathe. Use white space to break up bodies of text around paragraphs and images, and it makes it easier to read, relaxes the eye. Take a look at these 2 pictures. Which one's easier to look at? Number 12, header. Your headers need to be specific. You should never generalize. The header should be no more than 5 to 7 words. It should be compelling, simple, and straightforward. This is your attention grabber. Be positive and authoritative. Which heading below grabs you? Number 13, subheadings. Subheadings make scanning easier by dividing up the information. They support the header and transition to the body of the text. Take a look at these websites. You can see the headers, they're big and bold, and underneath is the subheader, which really supports the header and transitions the viewer into the next phase. We're going to be talking about links more in the future. You don't want to use a lot of words, you want to use links. Incorporate links within your text to elaborate on another page. If people want additional information, they can hit the link and find it on another page. Number 15, be consistent. You got to stay focused. You got to keep your size and your fonts and your spacing the same throughout your website. It makes you look organized, consistent. And this is what you want the viewer not only to see, but to feel when they go on your site. They don't want it to be chaotic. They want it to be simple and consistent. 16, this is really important. Be current. Don't offer something that's no longer available or out-of-date coupons or discontinued services. I think the reason this happens so often is people set up a website and then walk away, and they forget about it. Websites need to be maintained. You need to check in a couple of times a week. And if the special that you had running last week is no longer running, you need to take it down. So be current. A lot of websites aren't. 17 is proofread. You need to proofread, and then proofread again. You got to check your facts and your spelling. Get someone to help you. A fresh pair of eyes is always helpful. Nothing is more unprofessional than having text with spelling or grammatical errors. And I'm going to show you a website that will be a good tool to help you with proofreading. And finally, 18, copyright. All information, images, and intellectual property is protected by law. Do not copy from another site. Use your own words. Be real. And if you do use uncopyrighted information, always give credit to the author. So in summary, here are the 18 guidelines to remember when writing text. I'll post these guidelines in the description of this video so you can refer to them in the future. Next, we're going to go to Readable.com. It's a free online tool to test your text readability. Click on Test Your Readability and go to the next page. So the first thing you want to do is to type or paste in your text. I'm going to use a text from my website. There are 3 sections on my About page. And so let's type in the first one. And see how that rates. Already I can see there's an issue, but let's just go from the very top and read down. The Flesch-Kincaid grade level. That is how the general reading age group or grade level group is 3.7. So anything under that is good. Now this is a 3.5. And the Gunning Fog Index is the index used for business reading, and most business readers read on a 5.8. So you see, I'm kind of close. I'm under it, but still kind of close, which makes me think maybe there's something wrong in here that would make it better. Look at my website. It does not look like any other website design company. That seems a little redundant. So let's just take that out and see if that helps. And you see it does. My Flesch-Kincaid grade level dropped, as well as my Gunning Fog. My readability score is 87.9. A score of 60 is considered good, so I'm okay there. There seems to be an issue. You see it up here and here, and it says that there's a possible adverb, and it's dotted, and you can see right here, you should not look like everyone else. So maybe I should say you should not look like everyone. I don't really like that. Maybe if I rephrase the sentence and put your website should look like you. All right, so we've got that, got rid of the adverb, but see what else it did. It brought my reading score now up to 90, which is really good. And my grade level for the average reader dropped to 2.1, which is good. And my gunning fog index also dropped to 3.7. That means I'm going to reach a lot more people. Now, let's say I wrote this and I wasn't paying attention and I wrote they is sick because I was in a hurry. You see, it automatically has a blue line under it, which means it's a grammar issue. And when I look at this little unhappy face, there it is, and it'll give you the options. They are slick, but empty. And what if I spelled format incorrectly too, being in a hurry? That's a spelling issue. You can see it's underlined here. And it'll give me the option to change it to a correct word like format. So now I have no issues. I've got a grade A. All my readability is fine. It looks good. The good thing is that once you know the weak areas in your text, you can make changes to make it better. You can reach a broader audience. And that's what it's all about, reaching your target audience. So when you're writing text, think about issues that are important to your target audience. Get ideas by checking your competition. This is just to get you started. Don't copy. Your ideas need to be your own. And the way you get customers is by offering them something different. Write down your ideas and review the guidelines that we've gone over today, and then put your ideas into a few simple short sentences. Pretend you're talking to a friend about what you do, what excites you about your business, and how you're better than your competition. And then work with it until you think it's right, and then type it into the text box on Readable.com. Get your readability score. Make changes, clean it up, and then go with it. What you write is not etched in stone. You can always go back and change it later. So try not to fret over it too much. And remember, keep it simple. Napoleon once said, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." I think it's truer today than ever before. People love pictures, and images reinforce the power of your text and convey your message. Tutorial number 10 is about imagery. You're going to love learning how to use images on your website and where to find the good ones. It'll be fun. If you think my videos are giving you value, please consider subscribing to my channel. Lulu, and I'll see you next time.